Oh, great. Tell me your name and the organization.
Martin Schwartz, and I'm the president of Vehicles for Change.
Great name. Great. Did you have trouble getting that URL?
No, we didn't. No. There's nobody else that has it. And
well, you guys have been around for a while, haven't you?
1999. Yeah, we opened the doors in 1999.
Boy, and the .com business, that's an eternity.
That's right.
So basically, what is the program? What do you guys do?
In a nutshell, we take donated cars, mostly from the general public, and then we select the better ones and we repair them, and we identify families who need a car to get to and from employment to escape poverty. And we sell them a car for between $700 and $800.
Oh, really? So that's the price. So they got to put something down, kind of thing.
We want them to have a little skin in the game.
Yeah, that's great.
And we provide them with a 12-month loan.
I see. So you're lending the money too.
We're lending them the money, and we do it through a bank. We guarantee the loan, but we do it through a bank so that they can establish credit while they're paying for their car.
Wow, so it's more than just a vehicle.
Oh, absolutely.
It's credit and getting in the system and learning how to use the system.
And we also provide them with a 6-month warranty. So
we
want to make sure that the car stays on the road.
Guys with lots down here.
No, you don't. You don't get that from any used car dealership.
That's amazing. So. My boy we have an old Toyota. He's down in Alabama working and dealing with some guy down there and putting in a new engine. You know?
Oh, okay.
And actually, they were pretty nice.
Yeah.
We'll see. What happens.
Sure.
Gosh, so are you just local here in the Baltimore area?
No, we're throughout Maryland, D.C. and Virginia.
Wow.
And we're actually right now looking at expanding into Atlanta and Kentucky.
Wow.
So
that's how many offices, kind of thing, or it doesn't matter the offices, it's the location.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, we award all the cars in Maryland, D.C. and Virginia from here.
I see.
And we have one office in Richmond.
I see.
Now we'll have an office in Atlanta as well when we open that one.
And are the offices more to attract cars that you could turn over, or to attract people to know about the program?
The offices, this office is processes all the cars. So all the cars that we get donated get processed through our location in Baltimore. In Virginia, in Richmond, we have one person, and her office is actually in a fairly large garage that we that does all our repair work for us. So we do some repair work down there. And then people come to us to get their cars, so we don't deliver the cars. So everybody that gets a car, whether they're on the eastern shore of Maryland, whether they're in Bristol, Virginia, they go to Richmond. Somebody from the eastern shore has to come here and get their car.
And you're looking at Atlanta now.
We're looking at Atlanta now.
Now, are you a nonprofit, or how do you run this? So you're
We're
strictly
a nonprofit. Absolutely.
Wow. And so then the extra money to do all this, so you get the donated cars. I mean, do you have another place of revenue from that?
We do. It costs us $4,800 to put one car on the street.
Wow.
And that's everything.
So somebody donates a car and it costs you about $4,800. Take that car and make it ready for somebody.
No, it costs us everything to get. So we advertise. So we buy advertising. It covers our advertising. It covers our towing costs to get the car in. It covers all our rent. So it's everything it takes to get the car donated, to get it fixed, to get it out the door. And we fund that in 3 different ways. One is, as I said, the recipient pays an average of about $750 for their car. And then we generate about $1,800 a car internally. We do that through cars that are donated that aren't very good shape, and we send those possibly to a junkyard, to auctions, and then we have a used car lot. So we actually sell cars to the general public, and that generates some of our funding. And then we still have to get a subsidy from either the state through state grants or through private foundations. For instance, we have a grant with the Able Foundation in Weinberg and Walmart and Casey, so they fund us as well.
Now, I've run into similar kind of programs in other parts of the country. Is that true?
There are. There's a number of small ones across the country. We're actually the largest program.
You're the largest one. Is there an association of all these people or something?
We've tried. We
haven't
been very successful at this point. But part of the reason is because most of the organizations come and go so quickly. They get a small grant, they do a couple cars, they find out this is a very difficult thing to do.
So that's
and
they
disappear.
When you grow, will it always be like this, or do you see franchising it kind of thing? Or
we're actually doing a little bit of both. The Kentucky situation is a franchise or a potential franchise. The program in Atlanta will own. So it'll be vehicles for change.
There were some like state agencies used to do something similar. Is that true? I think
there's state agencies that help fund cars, and then they can use monies. There's a thing called a WAG grant, which is a welfare avoidance grant. And a WAG grant you can use to repair your car.
I see.
So if I'm a low-income family and I have a car and it breaks down, I can go and get a WAG grant to get my ar repaired. I'm not aware of any state agencies that actually are awarding like cars.
So what got you into this?
It was really pure dumb luck. It really was.
Like me, I failed at everything else.
I had started my own company. I was in athletics all my life. I was most of my life.
You look like a runner or something.
I'm a basketball player.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I hate running. So I have an undergraduate degree in accounting, a master's degree in information systems design, but I did development and marketing for athletics. So I was at Cardinal Gibbons High School and then Catonsville Community College and UMBC. Started my own company and it wasn't doing very well. Yeah, it was to help high school kids get into college. So it was kind of a recruiting service, but it was based on the internet.
But it was for athletic kids or anything?
For athletes. Yeah, but it was based on the internet. So what we would do is take a resume, put it on the internet, make it searchable for college coaches.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, the problem was in 1996 the internet wasn't quite ready for it.
So sounds good now.
Lost everybody's money and was kind of in 98 looking for something to do and actually kind of fell into this. They had some people that had figured out that they needed they'd gotten some funding, $30,000 grant, and they were trying to figure out how to get cars in the hands of low-income families.
So this was a nonprofit organization that had this grant and trying to figure this, and you ran into them like for a friend of a friend? Or
well, no, it was actually, they were running an ad for a first-time executive director.
Okay.
And I went in and said, here's the gig. I've got all the office equipment.
Yeah.
I've got an office in my house. I have an undergraduate in accounting, and I've done development my whole life. Yeah. So it was like, this is kind of a no-brainer.
Oh, so that's the one that developed into this? I see. Wow.
Yeah. So we started with, actually what happened, that was in Howard County. And then an auto parts company called Precision Certapro came to me and said, we want you to build this even bigger, not just Howard County. We want you to do this under our name, under Precision. I
don't see the name now.
Well, they went out of business. They went out of business in 2002, and we were able at that point to continue. So
that's nice.
So it's all basically started with a $20,000 grant and a $10,000 loan.
Yeah, I mean, I did a bunch of women's books maybe about 10 years ago now. And I remember I have two boys, and I didn't have kids till I was 40. And I remember when my wife went away first time, with two little kids, and it was summer, and boy, to take care of the kids, I mean, it was camp. So I take them both to camp. And I thought I could do everything, my normal job, and just do this on the side. At 11 o'clock the kid gets sick. I gotta go pick him up and come back. Then I pick him up at 3. Then they want to eat again. And I thought, how does some single mom?
And you didn't have to do that on a bus.
Exactly, right. And I had money, I had time, I had everything.
Right.
And you don't have a car in this society.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I think one of the most important thing it is for people.
They're really, I'll tell you, we did a program, we did it in D.C. last month, we did it in Baltimore in October called Walk in Their Shoes.
Yeah, that's a great thing. And I heard about you guys talking about it and everything.
It was so cool, and it really opened, it even opened up I was a single dad for a number of years when my son was little. And I went with one of our women, and she would get her kids up at 5:30 in the morning, walked her 4-year-old up the street to school, came back, got the 2-year-old twins. We got on a bus, traveled on the bus for half an hour, then walked probably a quarter to a half a mile to daycare, turned around, walked back to the bus, so now we've walked a mile, took the bus downtown to Baltimore.
To work?
Got on. No, we weren't done yet. So this is bus number 2. Got down to Baltimore and then had to take the light rail out to the Mondawmin area where she had to walk almost a mile
Wow.
To get to a grocery store where she was making $8.50 an hour.
Jeez.
Then she left there. Her mom would pick her kids up at daycare while she went to her second job. She got home at 4 o'clock in the morning and start all over. And she would, and let me tell you something, she was the most pleasant individual I've ever met. Didn't complain. I said, how often do you do this? She said, 5 days a week, but it's not that bad. I said, when do you sleep? She said, you learn to sleep on the bus.
No kidding.
I said, no. I said, I wouldn't do this for 2 days, let alone. And she said, well, I'm only working this second job for 3 months so I can buy my kids something for Christmas. You talk about, people will just, they're doing anything they can for their families, for their children. And it's just, it's a shame that our society looks down upon people like that. And they think, oh, you're getting food stamps and you're lazy, and these people are killing themselves. I tell you, there isn't one person making over $75,000 a year that would switch places with one of these people in a heartbeat, and just for the job. They wouldn't take that job for $75,000 a year, let alone
$8 an hour.
$8 an hour.
No, it's I just think it's wonderful work you do. When I first started, I heard about you for years now. So it's always a thrill to come up and talk with you. But also the need. I see, too bad we have a society that relies on cars so much.
It is.
If we had, and I see, I'm much older than you, but, I grew up, we want a car. Both boys in their 20s now, they don't want cars.
Oh, really?
They live downtown and everything. One has a bicycle and, maybe a zip car and that's all they need. So we may get away from that if we get some decent public.
But do they have children?
Nope.
See, when you have children, it changes the whole. If you live in the city, just to go grocery shopping.
First of all, there's no grocery
stores. And so that's part of the problem is that you look at the nutrition, and these people don't have access to nutritious grocery stores because they have to take a bus for 3 hours to get to one. And so they're not getting fresh vegetables, they're not getting fresh meats, they're not getting any of those things.
Well, is it finding new cars is really the main thing that drives the whole thing for you?
It's all about cars. We need to get
cars. So people out there with a car.
That's right. If you have a car, this is the place to give it. Without cars, we can't do anything. We could, in this area, and like I said, we're in Maryland, Virginia, and D.C. We could award 500 cars a day.
Wow.
That's how the need is just astronomical. There was a stat done by the Brookings Institute last summer, I believe. Just in the Baltimore metropolitan area, there's 81,000 low-income households without an automobile.
81,000, just Baltimore, not D.C.
The D.C. metropolitan area, 135,000.
135,000.
The toughest part is that those 81,000 people, only 14% of them have access to entry-level positions via public transportation.
Oh, I see.
So
80% of the people or more that just can't get to anything.
80% of the people have no access to any kind of entry-level position. Now they might have access to, a local grocery store. They might have access to a McDonald's or something like that. But that's not an entry-level position. It's not a position where you're going to have a career.
Well, you're doing wonderful work. Thanks for being there.
Thank you very much.
You got a car, son? Call this guy. Let him know. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great.